Hey, it's Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I am back again with AB, continued successful, consistent, paid trader with Apex Trader Funding. AB, man, what a pleasure to get a chance to talk to you again. Obviously, we've had you on the Trader Bacon show. You and I have had one or two of these already. So I'm starting to feel like I know you, and I get super excited when the guys that I know tend to continue and grow and develop. So congratulations on the recent payout.
Thank you very much.
You're trading the big boys now, right?
Yes, the 300 accounts.
So you're not on a 50K. What are you trading these days?
I trade 10 accounts, 300K accounts. I still like doing the same thing. I think the key of the consistency in trading is just scale your capital, not change your risk or what you're doing that is having some results. So I still trade in the Nasdaq daily. I love Nasdaq, but now with 10 accounts of 300K each one.
That brings up an interesting point, because as we know, like everybody who trades for any period of time has seen that when you change the dynamics, so whether you go from sim to evaluation to PA to live money, or you scale up your contracts, all of these things can have a psychological impact on how you trade or how you respond in the moment when you're used to that. What size accounts did you originally trade?
I start from like the 100K on.
Okay.
I'm pretty used to big accounts, but
Sure.
the key for me to have like this mindset that doesn't get like trouble when see those big numbers is I try to see everything as percentage. I risk like a 0.15% in a 100K account. It's the same that I do in a 300K. Maybe change the amount of money, but it's the same percentage. And if you know your KPIs, you're gonna just be fine.
Kind of glossed over that, and I think that's a key component right there. You talked about knowing your KPIs. What this means for someone who has not gone down this road is you know your stats, you know your max drawdown, you know the numbers that are important, so that you build confidence in that percentage. Here's what I see, and I've been a victim to this myself. When we scale up, even if we're in a bigger account and we have more drawdown, so if I'm used to seeing a drawdown of maybe $200 or $300 on a losing trade, if I all of a sudden saw 900 because I tripled my account size, I'm not seeing the percentage. What I'm seeing is that number. And so there's a discomfort associated with that, which is going to make me either cut my trade early, or I'm going to see a bigger drawdown than I'm used to, and it's going to make me want to fight my way out of it. And ultimately, any series of bad decisions. As you made these adjustments, of course, knowing your KPIs, knowing your stats, knowing what all of that looks like is critically important in my opinion. Was there anything else that you did psychologically or mentally as you instituted the bigger accounts that helped you along with this process?
That was like the main key component of my psychology. Like trading psychology is a really deep topic, but for me, the thing that really changed everything was knowing my stats. That made me see the long-term picture, right? So when I start trading based on my data, that just like give me peace of mind that it doesn't matter if I lose this amount of money, it's the same percentage. It doesn't matter if I have 3 consecutive stop loss in 2-3 trades, I will be just fine. So it's like, okay, it's another day. Today I have 2 stop loss. Same, okay, another day at the office. Next,
Right. Again, I don't want to paint this to be any easier than it really is. And quite frankly, I know that being on the other side of it and having developed this sort of mindset as a trader, it took time and you've gotten there. And so I don't want to gloss over the fact that it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of discipline to get to that point. So I'm curious, as you're developing your KPIs, what is it that you look at on a day-to-day basis that gives you the confidence in your strategy, knowing what it is you're moving into, that gives you peace even on a day where you take 2 stop losses or whatever the case may be?
One of the key components is journaling. I have the habit of journal every trade. As I finish my trading session, I journal everything, and that action of is not the data per se, but the action of write everything have teach me how, when I'm in a good psychological state, when I'm in my A game or my B game, my C game, that journaling like make me develop in like another trader from the one that I was like 2 years ago. how the journaling was a key factor there.
So what kind of information do you actually put in your journal? Do you do a screenshot, and then what other information goes in there?
I on my statistics and journal, I do two different things.
Okay.
I have an application, TradeZilla, that have all my KPIs, my numbers, but in my journal, I like to write like, okay, what I was seeing in that moment that I took the position, how I was feeling in that moment, if I have clarity, if I was like little doubtful, if I was like, like stressful. And I write also how do I feel during the trade, how I manage the trade, and then if it was a win or a loss, what could I do better for the next time. That's an habit. I do that every day.
I love that. And this is not the first time I've heard somebody recommend journaling your emotions before, during, and after a trade. Yet I think that that's one of the key components that a lot of people sort of neglect and maybe even don't think is that important. How important do you think that has been towards your continued growth and success as a trader?
Oh, that would be one of the most important things, because the problem with the majority of traders is not about the knowledge. We live in the golden era of trading. We have a lot of information. We have a lot of tools. We can learn a lot about the market without even going to the university. But the worst enemy of the trader is the trader itself. It's like,
of course,
how you manage yourself, how you control yourself. I think the key difference between a profitable trader and a non-profitable trader is that the profitable trader knows how to lose, how to take a loss and just move on.
Have you ever gone into your trading day and you're evaluating your emotions and thought, you know what, today's not my day, I'm not going to trade?
Yes, actually that in this month happened a lot. I think I have taken this month like 4 to 5 trades. And it was that I'm not feeling it. The high volatility in the past weeks, I was scared. Right. This thing, like this scared me. And I say, if I'm feeling like this, I don't want to trade. I went with my family to a park in Orlando. Then we went to Tampa, to Miami. I say, it's vacation time. I don't feel right. It's best to keep out of market if I'm not feeling well.
I always joke about, what if you just got into a fight with your wife or your husband or whatever, and then you go into the charts? Are you going to be as spot on as you would be in any other situation? I use that example because it is somewhat extreme, but the fact is that we can just have a rough morning. Maybe didn't sleep well last night, or maybe traffic was just brutal and someone cut me off or whatever. I mean, there's so many things that we just don't think could necessarily have nothing to do with trading, yet they in fact do. And I love the fact that this has become such a critical part of your process, which I think speaks volumes as to why you continue to grow and develop and see the level of success that you're seeing.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that it wasn't like this since the beginning.
No, of course not.
I learned this like the hard way. Yeah. Like, okay, I was like mad with my wife, or I had a really hard problem, outside the trading, and I just go to the charts. I want to trade. I don't know why, and right now I was like, I don't know why I did that, but it wasn't like this. And all those failures helped me to grow, to become the best trader that I am now. All those experience is what have made me, mindful trader. People may think, oh, this guy is perfect. Like he doesn't fail, but it's not like that,
No, I have yet to run into anybody that hasn't had a struggle in the process. But the best thing that we can do is identify where those biggest struggles are and just work on developing and getting better at one thing at a time. For each trader, one trader, their issue is emotions. Work on emotions. Take a day off every now and again. Don't feel like you have to trade every single day. Exactly. If one is really identifying those A+ setups, then maybe you list out every key component that makes A+, and if you don't hit it, don't take a trade. It doesn't mean that you have to take these steps forever. It just means that you take them long enough to where you work out some of the kinks, and then it becomes more unconscious competence, as they say, where you don't have to think about it as much. You just know. And it sounds like this is a big part of your process and your journey as a trader, which tells me there's no surprise to me that you continue. Every time I speak with you, you hit new highs, new records, and you continue to grow and develop as a successful trader, dude. I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of your growth.
Thank you very much.
You know, definitely just love the opportunity to get to connect with you whenever we get to. So thanks for sharing some of your morning with me today. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Gates. Thank you to all the family of Apex. No, it's really great to be here and share some of my experience with you all.
I love it, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm super excited for you. I can't wait to hear the next update when we get a chance to do this again, man.
Yes, I want the meal payout, you know, 1 meal.
7-figure payout's a big deal. We got a handful of those already. I think we just had a new one. So
yes, I see JCap.
I'm going to try to get him on the show. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see him on Trader Bacon. So AB, awesome. Man, thanks again for taking some time and hanging out with us. Always a pleasure to chat with you, and looking forward to seeing that 7-figure payout soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon, man.